The only thing more painful than watching 3 hours of Monday Night Shite is having to review 3 hours of Monday Night Shite. But unfortunately, guys, it's that time of the week again. It's a Tuesday night, but here, 24 hours late, Raw review. It's not Raw. Can't even speak English, man. What the fuck? 24-hour late Raw review. It's not going to kill anybody being 24 hours late, but watching this show might certainly put you in an early grave. So, lots of shit promos tonight, man. And the crazy thing is, there was a lot of shit tonight on Raw, but it was probably the best Raw we've seen in a while. So that kind of sums up what we usually get on Raw. But this was not a great show. I mean, it was a fucking terrible show, but it was probably better than what we've got over recent weeks. So we kick off with Stone Cold Steve Austin's music. But surprise, surprise, it's Kevin Owens. He's wearing the jean shorts. He's wearing an Austin 316 shirt. He's got a bald cap on. Pardon me. He's got a bald cap on. Comes into the ring and cuts a promo and impersonating Stone Cold Steve Austin, but doing a fucking terrible job at it. He was basically pretending to be Steve Austin, but cutting a Kevin Owens promo. Now, I'm not going to pretend that WWE's never done this before, that no one's ever impersonated someone. They have done it, right? I'm not burying this promo because he was pretending to be Stone Cold, even though it's lame, we can't get the real Stone Cold. But, yep, this has been done before. But normally, when this is done, it's either done in two ways. It's done in that they impersonate the said person to try and get a reaction from the crowd. And then, as soon as they're in the ring, they kind of just drop the whole gimmick. They stop pretending to be that person and they just get on with it. Or they continue and they do a full promo impersonating that person, but they do it in a funny way. They actually try and be them. They mock them. Just like, the Nation of Domination, DX doing their promo. I think you've had the NWO as well. The New Day have done some shit, things like that. But this is not what we got here. We got Kevin Owens coming out dressed as Stone Cold, and then he tried to cut an Austin promo, but he didn't sound like Austin. He didn't walk around or move like Austin. He didn't show or deliver any sort of Austin's mannerisms in the ring. Barely used any of Austin's catchphrases. He didn't even do that, that thing that Austin done. I mean, Austin used to pace around as well. He'd pace around the ring. He'd lean on the ropes, and we just fucking didn't get that from Kevin Owens. It was shit. And then at the end, he does the stick with the whole, the beer thrower, but he can't catch the beer, so he gets the beer guy in, hits a stunner. It was pretty bad. During it, Austin's music hit. People thought Austin was there. It turns out Kevin Owens was just fooling people. I mean, I appreciate what they've tried to do here, but it was done really, really badly, man. This was not a good promo at all. Then we move on. We have Rey Mysterio and Dominic versus the NXT champion Dolph Ziggler and Bobby Roode. I think Seth Rollins came out during this and then went backstage again. I don't quite... At least that's what happened on my TV. I don't know if it was a problem with the viewing or whatever, but Seth Rollins came out during this match, then fucked off again. Now, I don't know if that's what happened or whether my TV glitched out or I was watching some edited version of fucking Raw, but that's what happened for me. After the match, Rey Mysterio steals Miz steals Rey Mysterio's mask. He parades around with his mask. Rey Mysterio is flopping about on the outside. Dominic screaming for a towel, and you'd think that Rey Mysterio is like on fire here, or that Rey Mysterio is like, bleeding out and then they need a towel to apply pressure to the wound or something. But in reality, he's maskless. You can see his face. It's 2022. We all know what Rey Mysterio looks like. Now, I'm not trying to knock the whole, Mexican mask heritage, but fuck it, wrestling's dead in 2022. Just give up with the whole mask thing, you know what I mean? Come on. I thought it was very lame. And then Rey Mysterio's walking around, with a towel over his head. It just looked fucking dumb. So, I did not like this at all. Then The Miz was backstage. He says, growing up, Rey Mysterio was Logan Paul's favourite wrestler. But now Logan Paul learned that Rey Mysterio's a jerk. He says that he was going to give Logan Paul Rey Mysterio's mask as a gift. and that he wants him to wear it next week. So who knows? Maybe we're going to get Logan Paul wearing Rey Mysterio's mask next week. Then The Miz started talking in, like, I don't know, fucking like centuries. Like, I mean, it was weird. He was talking in like some, medieval kind of accent. I don't know what he was doing, but it wasn't good. Up next with Almost versus Apollo Crews and Commander Aziz. I mean, when you've got two guys the size of Almost and Aziz, you can't help but, actually pay a bit of interest. It's just unique. It's intriguing when you see two massive guys, colliding. If it's like two guys in NXT UK that are midgets, nobody gives a shit. But when you've got two fucking gigantic guys like Aziz and Almost, it does grab your attention. It is intriguing. You can't help but want to know what's going to happen next. And I mean, this match was surprisingly entertaining. At the start, Crews and Commander Aziz worked together to try and get the upper hand. But the later the match went on, the longer the match went on, Almost got more dominant. One stage, he hit like this one-handed like slam on Aziz, and this was very impressive. He had Aziz over his shoulder and hit him with like a one-arm slam, but he had him up there for like 10 seconds. Aziz, a big guy, Almost big slam with one hand. Very good for you, Almost, aye. Good stuff. Probably the best match of the night. Backstage, when we had Rhea Ripley and Miv Morgan, who are now a tag team. If you care, I certainly don't. Taking on Shayna Baszler and Natalya. Carmella and Selena come out, attack them. Carmella didn't look interested. Backstage, Queen Selena is telling Carmella she needs to get in the game. Doesn't she realise the titles are at stake? She doesn't seem interested. And then Carmella basically shows fucking zero interest in the titles, which shows you how dead these titles are. But she goes, yeah, blah, blah. We're defending the titles at WrestleMania. 4 women. We can lose without being pinned. And she seriously didn't give a fuck. Now, I mean, come on. Like, titles are supposed to be important. You're supposed to really want that title. Yet Carmella looked as if she couldn't give a shit whether she lost the titles or not. So Queen Selena then throws away her phone. Carmella slaps her. Queen Selena calls her ugly bride Scylla. Carmella calls Selena a little hobbit. I've got to say something here. I mean, I know Carmella goes by this gimmick, the most beautiful woman in WWE, and I am by no means saying that she's ugly or not hot. I'm definitely not saying that. But there is no way Carmella is the most beautiful woman in WWE. I mean, I probably wouldn't even put her in the top 5, to be honest. She comes across as very plasticky. I mean, she does seem like a Barbie. I honestly think if you got all the women in the WWE and we've seen them all without makeup, I would definitely say that Carmella would not be in the top 10. And even with makeup, she wouldn't even be in my top 10. She just looks... Like I said, I'm not saying she's not hot, but the thing is, the majority of the women in WWE are really good looking. That's why they're in there. It's not often you get like ugly women in WWE. McMahon doesn't really go for that. But for me, I mean, Queen Selena, I could call her Queen Selena. Carmella, most beautiful woman in WWE, certainly not for me. Definitely not for me. But yeah, that was that. Pretty shite. Then we had Becky Lynch cutting one of the worst promos I've seen. One of the worst promos Becky Lynch has done for sure. She was talking about, called the title My Precious, basically just ripped off Gollum in The Lord of the Rings, said it exactly like he would, and then she was like talking in riddles and like ancient talk, talk from like the 16th century and all this, like talking, like just this weird fucking talk, and like it just doesn't even sound like Becky Lynch. I mean, since when did Becky Lynch talk like this? And she's talking in riddles, and it's like, why? Why? This is 2022, not the 1700th century. Come on, why is she doing this? I thought this promo was terrible. It seems to be getting mixed reviews. Some people thought it was great, some people thought it was bad. I straight up thought it was terrible. Speaking of terrible, Fear Mahan is coming to Raw on April 4th. That is the night after WrestleMania. No surprise. I think we knew for a while now that it was probably going to be the night after WrestleMania. He's going to be one of the big surprises. And does anybody really care about this? Is this something that's going to make you want to see the Raw after WrestleMania? I know a lot of people travel worldwide. A lot of people normally stay in America, the Monday night, because they want to watch the Raw after WrestleMania. But is anybody really staying on Monday to watch Fear Mahan? I don't think so. If anything, Fear Mahan being announced for the show is a reason why you'd probably just pack up and leave a day early. So yeah, Fear Mahan coming, or Fear Mahal, whatever the fuck this guy's name is. Fear coming to Raw on April 4th. Probably be gone by fucking May 4th. So yeah, future endeavour. Then we had Austin Theory versus Finn Balor. Pat McAfee was in commentary. It kind of annoyed me if Pat McAfee was at Raw tonight. Yeah, he was only doing commentary for one match. Could we not have had him on commentary for the whole 3 hours? It would have maybe made the show a wee bit better. McAfee distracts Theory, and Finn Balor gets the win. Whoop-de-doo, nothing special here. Austin Theory cut a promo after saying that he's going to take out Pat McAfee at WrestleMania. This show's taking me out, guys. I'm fucking wrecked watching this. Then we had RK Bro versus Alpha Academy. It was a win for RK Bro. Then after the match, big brawl. Otis comes in, clears out everybody, and then the Street Profits come down, and we get a mad ending to the thing. Then we had a backstage segment with Tosawa and Tamina. Tamina says she wants the same thing that Tosawa wants. Tosawa looks pleasantly surprised. He leans in for a kiss. Tamina grabs him by the throat and says, I want the 24/7 title. Don't you want that for me? Then they go out and have a match. Lots of goofy fucking spots in this match. There's one moment where Tamina accidentally headbutts Tosawa in the nuts and he makes this fucking mad noise. And this was a wee bit funny, like, I'm not going to lie. Yeah, it was kind of funny. And then, Tosawa gets pinned by Reggie, and then Tamina carries Tosawa to the back. So he acted like the woman in this role. There was a spot where, they were fighting. Reggie put Dana Brooke on top of his shoulders, but Tosawa couldn't lift Tamina, so, Tamina put Tosawa on top of his shoulders. I mean, he had a sore back lifting Tamina. Could you imagine if he tried to lift Nia Jax? Holy fuck, his back would have snapped in two. Like a table, like the Dudley Boys had just arrived, but this was, overall it's shit, but what I will say is, the 24/7 title stuff has got a little bit better since they actually, started doing something with Tosawa and Tamina, because for months, it was literally just these four and R-Truth running around like fucking idiots. It looked like like Looney Tunes or something, like a cartoon show. We had just 5 fucking goofballs running around after a title. But now they've got a sort of like comedy, sort of romance thing going with Tamina and Tosawa. And I'm not saying it's great. I'm not saying it's good. I'm not even saying it's okay. But it's better than it was, right? It's better than it was. And in the main event, AJ, wait, I think I just skipped. Did I skip something? I did. Aye. So basically, earlier in the night, Seth Rollins comes out. This is how good Raw is, man. You forget one of the main things that happens. Seth Rollins comes out and he targets AJ Styles' WrestleMania spot. AJ says he ain't getting it. Sonya Deville and Adam Pearce come out. They say if Seth Rollins can beat AJ tonight, Seth Rollins takes on Edge and AJ's out. Why are these two coming out and just basically awarding Seth Rollins this opportunity and shafting AJ? What the fuck did AJ do? Doesn't make any sense. Main event, AJ versus Seth Rollins. Edge comes out from behind, attacks AJ with a steel chair, gets him DQ'd. AJ gets the win, obviously by disqualification. Seth Rollins says if he doesn't get a match at WrestleMania, Raw's not going to happen next week. So he kind of destroys things at ringside. And, that was it. This Edge-AJ feud, let's just address what happened the last 4 weeks. Edge, called out AJ for the match. Edge attacked AJ, beat him up. The next 2 weeks, AJ wasn't on Raw, and Edge more or less cut the exact same promo. Back-to-back weeks, Edge cut the same promo on his same fucking mountain of irrelevance. And then on the 4th week, AJ returns. We don't see Edge right till the very end, and Edge comes out again and hits him from behind. So, in 4 weeks, in a whole month, we've had Edge attacking AJ, Edge cutting the 2 same promos, and then Edge attacking AJ again. What's happened, guys? Honestly, in 4 weeks, what's happened with this feud? Fuck all. That is what's happened. I mean, you look at back in the day, man, feuds. In 4 weeks, there'd be so much shit that was happening. I remember watching the Edge Angle feud. I'm currently rewatching the Ruthless Aggression era, and I'm on that bit where it's Edge feuding with Angle. And every single week, they had different segments, they had different promos, they had different matches. Like, they were involved in tag team matches, or, you know, just they were like partnering somebody, or a manager of somebody, or they were doing a promo, or they were doing a segment. I mean, you had the whole Angle with his new t-shirt where Edge, you know, steals his t-shirt and puts in a different design. You had the thing where Edge is backstage and he's gave Angle pictures because they used to be friends, and then Angle's holding the pictures up, and it's got like arrows pointing to Angle saying like, you dork, you suck, and all this stuff. I mean, that was great. But what do you get here? 4 weeks in, and you got fuck all. You've got Edge cutting the same promo twice, and you've got Edge attacking AJ twice. Absolutely nothing. Fucking terrible, guys. This Raw was shit, but the sad thing is, guys, it was better than the last probably 3 Raws. So, yeah, again, the best thing on the show was probably showing you what Brock Lesnar did on SmackDown, and that kind of just sums up Raw. I'm going to give it a 1 out of 10, because I appreciate that they tried to do something with Austin and Kevin Owens, but it was crap. It really was crap. What else? I mean, almost in the handicap match I thought was alright. Is that it? That's kind of it, guys. That's it. I mean, I thought this show was better than that. Maybe give it a 0.5 out of 10. Who knows? But anyway, guys, that's it. Till next time, let us know your thoughts down below in the comments. I'll catch you guys later. Peace.